guys, it's Kim Jong Spoon and welcome back to World of Tanks Blitz. So my last video was about how to platoon with heavy tanks, and I mixed heavy tank destroyers in there because they're pretty much the same thing. And so this video is going to be about how to platoon with medium tanks, which is markedly different. So to start out, I'm platooned up with Sebastian 1145 in our FV4202s, and we are starting on Winter Malinovka, the northwest side. There's another attrition member on the other team, Ukraine Commanders in his T-34, so before each battle, I look at the team lists and figure out who's going to be the biggest threat, and because Ukraine Commanders in attrition, I'm going to make sure that I take him out ASAP. The other threats that I was looking at were the Object 140 and the Leopard PTA. The T-54 could be a threat, but the T-54's low pen might have problems even with our turret, unless he's prepared to load gold. So, Object 140 and Ukraine Commander in the T-34 are our two biggest threats. So Seb and I are sticking together always. And bam, Object 140 spotted. He puts one in, I put one in. That probably shouldn't have hit, but the lag helped me out, and so the shell actually hit the 140. And this guy knows he's absolutely screwed. There's 3 medium tanks on top of him. I go for the ram, hit him, and get the kill. So we just took out an enemy tier 10 medium tank, and our team as a whole has taken 3 hits and minor ramming damage. Seb and I are still sticking together. That was a really low caliber shell that just hit the dirt there. You can tell by the noise. So I don't want to get sniped. I'm afraid the E100's sitting up there. But the E100 gets spotted way on the other side. So I decided to screw it. I'm pushing forward. Seb's always with me 100% of the time. Because if I run into trouble, I want friends. Get spotted again. It's not the Leopard PTA, and I see that tree fall. That's Ukraine Commander right there. So we want to take him out ASAP. I didn't notice this, but it is a demo account player both in the T-34 and in the Leopard PTA. That's one thing that I'll look at on the enemy team to start each game, how many clan members they have, what clans they're in, and how many demo account players they have, because usually clan members are better than non-clan members, and demo account players are worse than non-demo account players. So we track Ukraine Commander there in the T-34. Leopard PTA is pushing up, so we're engaging outside in. If I went to get another shot into Ukraine right there, I would have taken one from both him and the Leopard PTA. So I push forward, take a hit, but that was a bad shot, so I come forward again, get a better angle, track him there, and I know that my reload's good enough. Right now, Seb's taking the left side while I'm taking the right side, so neither of us can get flanked. If we both took the T-54, or we both took the T-34, then the other side would flank us. So, load hash, hit his tracks like a noob, and I go for the ramming track. Detracking someone by ramming is a great way to keep them still when you don't have a shell in the chamber. And this guy's either experiencing major lag, or he's having experience issues with his tank because he fired off in the completely different direction than we were sitting in. So, only 2 tanks left. We've completely circled around the entire enemy team. The guys on the mill have... They basically held the windmill until our medium's flanked. I've got Hesh loaded here, right in the rear of the E100, over 400 damage. Hesh really makes this tank what it is. People say that it's underpowered because it doesn't get to use heat and put shells through the front of the Panzer E100s, but with Hesh, you can basically do more damage on average than an FV4202 with another shell per minute. So you're doing tons of damage with Hesh, and I highly recommend you guys load a bunch of Hesh. I've got 20 Hesh shells for situations like the rear of an E100. 3,400 apiece and 3 kills, so that was a pretty good game. Let's switch to another replay here that illustrates how medium tanks can really work together. So we're starting off here, platooned up with Seb again in our 4202s on Middleburg. I think this map is fantastic, especially if you spawn on the good side if you're a medium. Looking at the team lists, they have T-62A, Centurion 1, Pershing, that are going to be our major threats, T-62A specifically, that we want to take out ASAP. And we have 5 medium tanks, so we're just going to cross the hill and then circle around their heavies, is what I'm thinking of doing. Looks like our team agrees. Pershing, myself, Seb, T-44, and the E-75 all like the plan, so that's what we're going with. Seb's on Skype, so I told him, you take the left side, I'll take the right side, and then we decide maybe that's not the smartest decision because I have a little bit more experience on hills, so we switch right there. And I'm going to work this ridge line with the gun depression. Seb likes that spot off to the right, so pop up, not even going to take the shot on the T-62A. put one into the Pershing, and drop back ASAP. I switched to Hesh here because I know I can pen the front of the Pershing with Hesh, but he's pulling back, and so I switched to ABCR just to have it ready in case I get shots at somebody's tracks or the T-62A. This turret, donk a shot on the Pershing, and right now we have enough guys over here that we can just rush these guys. We're going to focus one at a time. I've told Seb on Skype that we're going to focus on the Pershing because he's in the line of fire right now. Donk another shot, and the Pershing's pulling back. So we're switching targets to the Centurion. He's pulling back also. So right now, we have them on their heels, and this ridgeline is giving them cover. So if you push them back beyond this ridge, we've just taken the ridge, and now we can use it as cover. Again, we're limiting, so I'm getting the Pershing in between myself and the Centurion. Smack a Hesh shell into his turret, and now he's muerte. Take out the Centurion one, and now it's 2-0. We're going to crush their heavy tanks. That T-62A, I was assuming this guy would die sooner, so what I'm doing is I'm just going to go down into the town, put shots into the rear of that mouse. I see the shot, pull the trigger, not even close. But as about halfway reloaded, I see the T-62A still alive, and right before I put the shell in the chamber, Seb gets the kill. So this mouse right here is in a terrible spot because I can track him without getting shot back. Until this Pershing pushes up against me, makes my aim go wonky, screws me up, and we miss the tracking shot. Unfortunately, this mouse's repair skill is absolutely atrocious, so we can actually repair it. We can actually reload before he repairs. Again, we're just perma-tracking this mouse here. I switched to Hesh, put one in for 400 damage, damaging his ammo rack and his tracks. So I see he's on less HP than my average damage, so I'm going to go take him out, roll around the corner, put one into his side, and we get a low roll, so fantastic. Mouse is turning, and the Patton takes him out. So now we have this T-28 prototype. Seb and I are tag teaming this guy. He puts one into me, and I bounce off his turret, but Seb's got the kill before he reloads. So, in that replay, we stuck together at all times, and then when the heavies are in the town, we attacked them from multiple different directions, so especially the mouse had no chance. E100 is the last one left. I'm looking for tracking shots because Seb's going around to the side, so look for a tracking shot. No can do. The E100 makes a BS shot into my side, but we survive and we win 7-2. That's a pretty sweet game. Let's take a look at those post-game stats real quick. 3,200 damage. Seb got 3,800. That's a really great score for the 4202. So now let's take a look at a couple of other clips that illustrate how you can use medium tank platoons to your advantage. So right now, all of our tanks are up on this hill, and their tanks are below it. But they have really heavily armored tanks like an E3 and an IS-8 that we're having trouble killing. So Seb flanks around these guys, and if they're being attacked from multiple different directions, no matter which way they look, somebody has side shots on them. We track the IS-8 instead of getting a killing shot, and there's Seb screaming through the middle of the town, going for IS-8, kills the IS-8, and the E3, who's put a couple shots into me, now is circled from 3 sides. No matter which way he looks, 2 people have shots on either his rear or his side. So I put one in, tracks him, and Seb's right behind him there. I want to keep this guy tracked so he can't circle around Seb. That probably shouldn't have penned, but thanks RNGesus. And this guy's absolutely done. We retrack him so Seb doesn't get circled, and Seb gets the kill. So we got a bunch of assisting damage, Seb got a bunch of damage. It just works out that way. Now this is what people call a wolf pack. There are 4 medium tanks over here, and there's 3 heavy tanks. Now technically, the heavy tanks might have a shot of winning, but we're all focusing fire on this T-34. 3 of the 4 of us are hitting him. Put a Hesh shell into his rear for over 400 damage. 464 is a huge roll. Seb takes him out, and now we're switching to this E75. 1, 2, 3, and he's dead. So that E75 got 1 shot in, but if we all shot in different tanks, he probably would have gotten 3. This game illustrates how you can work with heavy tanks. So Seb dies early on in this game, and the Centurion 7-1 dies early on, but I'm basically up against 2 medium tanks. One of them is Full of Snook, so let's not get rushed by him. If you guys don't know, Full of Snook is one of the best players in the game, so don't screw with him. Make a fool of myself trying to pen this Carnarvon, and there's a Jaegeru and somebody else sniping over from that side. I look at my minimap and see that I got a bunch of heavy tanks rolling up behind me, so I'm not going to push these guys at all. Make a super clutch shot into fullest nuke. He hits me back, but we bounce his shot. Put one to the Carnarvon, and I'm not pushing forward at all. I'm not being aggressive because I know that my heavy tanks are coming up behind me. So I want to wait for them. Centurion puts one into the dirt, and now we're golden. Look behind me, guys. There are 3 heavy tanks ready to just punish fullest and this Leopard PTA who just showed up. I'm trying to limit who can shoot at me, so right now I just want the Leopard PTA to be able to hit me because he probably will pen less and he probably doesn't have an 80% win rate. So let's have him shoot at me instead of fullest in his C62A. And now I realize that I can actually shoot underneath this Carnarvon. So I poke over, take a shot at fullest, it goes under the Carnarvon, hits him, and now there are 4 of us here. 2 tier 10s it looks like, and 2 tier 9s. So we're going to push these guys right now. There's fullest running, and now there's this Leopard PTA who's staying behind and stupidly but valiantly fighting. Hesh hits his gun, fantastic. Still got Hesh loaded. I actually go to sniper mode so I can actually pen, and bam, 400 damage. IS-7 rotates me for some reason. Thanks, bud. And now we have secured this side. If I'd rushed him right there, I'd be very, very, very dead. But now fullest is right here. He takes my tracks off right as I fire, but I repair them. IS-7 wants to take the hit for me. We tag team, and bam, fullest nuke is muerte. That's pretty much the only reason I showed you that clip. And that was the results of that game. Because we flanked around and I waited for our heavies, I was able to do 5k damage. So, stick with your heavies. To sum it all up, medium tank platoons can be totally OP, especially if you're communicating with Skype or TeamSpeak or some sort of similar software, because it allows you to easily tell your teammate who you're attacking and if you need help, or if your teammate can split off and attack somebody else. So, I would highly recommend doing that. Heavy tanks is less critical to have that kind of verbal communication going on, but it still is a really great asset. One of the things that I constantly hear great medium tank drivers saying is, conserve your health, conserve your health, conserve your health. Your health is like a resource. It's kind of like money. If you could buy a mattress for $500, why would you spend $1,000 on the same mattress? So if you can do damage without taking any in return, make sure you're doing that. No reason to take damage early on, because in certain situations where you have to just have a DPM fight with someone, it's always great to have that extra HP to be able to throw away. So conserve your HP, stick with your medium friends, even if you're not in a platoon. That medium wolf pack that I showed you absolutely destroyed those heavies, especially when we called out fire and it was clear who we were attacking, so we just took them out ASAP, and that last guy left, the E75, got one shot in as we just destroyed his entire heavy tank side. So make sure you're keeping eyes on your medium tank friends, and if they need help, go and help them, because extra medium tanks on your team is probably the best thing you can have. When you're not in a platoon or when you have heavy tank friends with you, make sure that you're waiting for them. As you saw, I didn't YOLO rush against fullest nuke there in that last replay, because I knew that when my friendly heavy tank showed up, he couldn't attack me. If he pulled over the ridge there were 4 of us, so he would have just been shredded. So wait for your heavy tanks if you're in a bad situation like that, and then once you have those heavy tanks, press your advantage, destroy them as quickly as possible while taking as minimum damage as you can to conserve that HP so you can throw it away later. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, leave a thumbs up down below and stay tuned for more awesome tank videos. Thanks.